Everybody, it's Grandmaster Ben Feingold here with our video series, The 4 Queen C2 Nimzo Indian. In this video, we're going to actually analyze a variation that was named after my IQ. And that variation is 0, 0. No, not C5. That messed up the joke. Castles. And in my opinion, this is the best move for black because it's the most flexible. Black could play D5 later. Black can play C5 later, sometimes both. Black can play knight C6. Black can actually play all the other variations in this video, but throw in castles first. Now, the three most common moves for white are A3, E4, and knight F3. I've never played A3, even though that was the most common move. I don't like to play A3 in the Nimzo Indian if I don't have to, because if their bishop doesn't take my knight, then all right, good. If it takes my knight, I don't want to waste the tempo with A3. Now, 30 years ago, I usually played bishop to G5, which I don't play anymore. Not a big fan of that. E4 is very interesting. Black can play passively and do nothing like, D6, take here first, knight C6. But most people play D5, and this involves lots and lots of theoretical preparation. And some grandmaster games in this position go to move 25. They're both still in their prep, and it's just equal. I've seen that a lot. And the main line is E5, knight E4, bishop to D3, and then I think it's C5. Yeah. CD5, ED5, knight E2. And there's a lot of theory. I think takes, knight D7 is the main line now. And the theory never ends. Bishop F4. And I think queen H4 is the most common move now. Then G3. And then you can move your queen to more than one square. I've actually analyzed this position like 15, 20 years ago. You can play queen H5, queen H3, queen E7. I think Super GMs play queen H5 now, but it's been a while. And then there's more and more and more theory, and there's a lot of Super GM games. Not really the purpose of this lecture is to look at stuff like that has such deep theoretical knowledge. So if you play E4, you have to know a lot. You have to know D5, C5, D6, and after D5, E5, knight E4, as I just showed you, there's a lot of stuff going on. Okay, knight F3 is what I play. And here, black can play very boring, or black should play C5. That's the best move in my opinion. And in this position, I always take, and most of my opponents play knight A6, but you can play bishop takes C5. You could. I prefer white there. And there's two main lines. After G3 takes bishop G2, knight E4, castles is a main line and bishop D2 is a main line. I've played them both more than 10 times. I haven't decided which one I like better. After bishop D2, you give up the two bishops, but white has a nice position. The bishop is bad. The rook is bad. This is great. And theory says this is about equal. I've had this position a lot. And this has more theory. Castles, takes here. White gets more development and more attack, but white has a terrible pawn structure. And the main line is E4, D6, E5, takes. I think queen C7. Bishop D6 and queen C7 are both played. I think queen C7 is better, but it's been a while. And then I think queen E2 is the main move. And theory goes forever and ever and ever and ever. And some of the games are mine, some of them. And I used to study this a lot because I had this position quite often. Another move that gives me fits instead of knight here is B6. And I didn't know any theory in B6. And then I learned theory, but that wasn't helping me so much. And the idea is after castles, we play bishop B7. And I think the only way for white to try to get an advantage here is to play knight B5. And that way you can't take my knight and control the E4 square. You got to watch out for this. You got to watch out for A3 winning your bishop. And I think knight here is the main move. Or is it bishop here? I think, oh no, it's bishop E4. queen d1, and then knight b7. That defends d6 and allows the bishop to retreat, so a3 doesn't win the bishop. And I studied this a long time ago, but as I said, it was a long time ago. There's a lot of grandmaster games in this position. So what's funny is after the move 4 castles for black, white has a lot of moves and they all lead to different positions. So if you have white in this position and you decide to play a3 or knight f3, or e4, I should say, your opponent has to know all of them and have variations against them all, and you only have to learn one. Although I've played the Nimzo Indian so often, I've played all of those moves, and I've played bishop g5. So I used to play here a long time ago. I didn't like it, and I've never played a3. I play knight f3 almost all the time now, and I've played e4. And they all lead to different kind of positions. Castles is the most flexible for black, and I still believe it's the best move. I think it's very difficult for whites to get an advantage here, and I just try to outplay my opponent in the middle game. So that's the queen c2 Nimzo Indian. I like all these variations. They're very interesting. I liked them more 25, 35 years ago when it wasn't a very popular line. When I started playing the queen c2 Nimzo, most people played e3 here. So probably most people play queen c2 now. So now everybody learned queen c2 from the black side. It always happens to me. Thanks for watching the series. I hope you enjoy all the videos. Please like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time with another video series. Bye, everybody.